think those two skills, how to speak and how to write excellently well, paying attention to the detail of what you're saying and what you're writing is a skill that can change anybody's life overnight. So whatever technical skill you have, data analyst, tech, whatever industry, being able to learn how to write.
Right.
I think a lot of these court cases is always because somebody wrote something that somebody listened.
Yeah, you don't understand it.
So we need to learn how to write. We need to learn how to negotiate. Oh, I said I'll talk about
Now you're talking the third one. It's
being able to convince people. Your skill you have. People that are so gifted, they don't know how to convince other people that they are good. You are good, it's only you that know. How are you able to convince another human? Because the difference between you earning 300K, 500K, a million, is who is able to convince the other person.
Yeah.
Sometimes you are better, but at what?
Alright guys, we are live on this pod again, and today we are joined by Joseph Etim. He's one of the notable public figures here in Nigeria around brand consultation, media communications, as well as doing a bunch of things for young people. He's the founder of Young People's Connect Africa. It's a brand and a community of young people, who they're empowering through different initiatives across Africa. And then I'm super happy to have him on this pod today. It was super short notice, and at the same time, he was able to make it. And I'm happy that you're here. Thank you for joining us today, Mr. Joseph.
Thanks for having me.
Quick one, we wanted to do a bit of background in terms of, what brought about the idea and initiative of Young People's Connect Africa.
So if you've obviously gone through the universities in Nigeria, there's always something keen for me. It was the fact that a lot of people went through school, but they were not able to really go through school.
Yes.
So you see a graduate that has like a first-class degree, but then they don't really understand how life works. They don't really understand how to negotiate the core of communication, the skill of life, basically.
Yeah.
They are not equipped with those kind of stuff. So I had to look for how to really help, because I discovered that I had a lot of friends, a lot of colleagues that were doing well in school, but outside of the force of school, they were struggling. So the question was now, how can we help? And the idea was just the only way to help people is to be able to help them with a solution. So I discovered that it doesn't matter how good you are in school, if you don't have a skill, if you don't know how to solve problems, you're going to be stuck in life. So that was the reason why we had to start Young People Connect there in Calabar. And one of the purposes then was just to connect like-minded young people that were doing well, people that were really after building themselves, interested in personal development. Because at the time, a lot of people just wanted to make money. Yeah. But to make money, you need to learn.
Exactly, yeah.
And what we tried to do then was just to have that community, that environment where a lot of them can come together and really ask the critical questions and learn the skills. So what we did was to have a community where they can come together to seek self-knowledge, to learn the skills, to get trained, and we give them access to the global market for job opportunities. So that was basically the reason why we started YPCA.
Nice.
And I think it was beautiful for us because when we came first into Calabar, people were really excited because,
it was the first of the kind.
Yeah, and the branding we did, people would think, these guys are coming from the US or from the otherwise, like, who are these guys?
Yeah.
So the reception in Calabar then was really, really mind-blowing. And for the first time in Calabar, hosting a conference for young people, because we had to start with the conference. We had to start with engaging young people. We had to just start with the conference. And the reception we got from Calabar community was it was mind-blowing. Imagine you're having the first conference ever in Calabar and the hall was filled up.
Yeah.
Everywhere was packed. People were crowded outside.
Wow.
And they were even screaming, you people have been there for so long. So the free event. You guys are there. Come out now, since you know how you go for a event and it's half filled.
Yeah.
But people were crowded outside, telling people that were already there for a while to just come outside. They can just come and take a glimpse of what is happening. So the speakers we had, the team we had, the volunteers, everything was just mind-blowing. And for the fact that for the first event in Calabar, we had that quality reception, it was just mind-blowing. So we've been doing this since 2018, and it's just amazing to see that, okay,
that's
people need help.
Yeah.
People need help. And it doesn't matter how we want to, fine-tune it. People need help. People need to understand that the only solution they need right now as a young person is having a skill. If you don't have a skill, you'll be stuck. The jobs we're looking for requires a skill. So we said, okay, let's give them a skill, let's train, and let's help. So that's why we started YPC.
This is just like similar to a couple founders that I've had on the pod.
Yeah.
I think the bottleneck around providing education, not only bottleneck, but for lack of better terms, is that we now tend to ask ourselves, the people that we're providing these solutions for, are they really in need of it, right? Even now, you still see that a bunch of people don't even pay attention to one self-development, personal growth, like I'd call it personal growth and development, which still literally draws us back, right? People are still going back to that point of, oh, I think certificates can cut it. It doesn't really cut it.
I agree. We live in an age right now that people know that I have a problem. This certificate cannot help me.
Yeah.
So what exactly do I need to do? So the question of learning a skill is no more a concern, it's no more a question, it's no more a debate.
Yeah.
It is now, what skill can I learn?
Yeah.
How far can I go? How much can I build? Because the world we live in right now, it is a question of how good are you?
Yeah.
How skilled are you? It was previously that we had to just encourage people to be interested in personal development.
Yeah.
Right now, if you're not developed,
you're on your own. Yeah. No one is going to ask you why you're not doing it. It's a lot of things around. There's a lot of things around personal growth and development.
Yeah.
Which is even far beyond skills, right? I recently started conducting researches around personal development, systems, how to build systems and structures, routines that would help you. I think it cuts more than skills. You're a multi-talented person. You do a lot of things. I do a lot of things too. I mean, you're a builder. It takes a builder to know other builders, right? And you still see that there are routines and systems that you've set aside for yourself that is even helping you in the quest for personal growth and development, while you offer solutions to young people, right? The idea behind YPC is something I like. It's like I would always say, I'm big on something, I'm bullish on it, right? Even before now, I really wanted to be part of the last YPC convention, but I was on another conference so I couldn't join in. But the solutions that people are providing at YPC, the panel, the high quality of guests is mind-blowing for such a little amount of money, because people don't really know what it takes to set that kind of thing up. Most times, I mean, your pocket goes into it without people knowing that, okay, it does. But they just come over, you're saying bring 50K right now. But imagine 2018 till now, consistency is another thing I see in place. So how are you able to be this consistent over times? 2018 till now is not a short time.
Well, thank you for the question. I think for me, one of the things I learned early in school, I had a diary then, and it was interesting for me because one of my senior friends, Shegun, shout out to Shegun, I think one of the things he did then for us was to have like a group of people come together, and he said we should write down our 5-year plan. So one of the things I did then was write down the things I wanted to achieve in the next 5 years, the next 3 years, the next 2 years, and that year. And I think that really helped me. So one of the things I really wanted to do, which I wrote down, was building a kind of community. On the long run, YPC has been a bedrock of some of the things I want to do in life. So my work, the kind of project I do is also like integrated into what I want for myself in life. So one of the things I got early was self-knowledge.
Big.
Self-knowledge.
Yes, very important.
I knew exactly what I wanted. The fact that, again, funnily, the kind of stuff I want to do and YPC, I think is intertwined. So it's easy for me to say, okay, what I want to do and YPC is part of it. So I'm a media person. So it's easy for me to say, okay, I can blend it. But talking about consistency, I think it's basically me just accepting the fact that I want to play this game for a long time. I had to accept it. I didn't just say, okay, I just want to do this one-off and just go. It was something I told myself, I need to do this. I wanted to do this for a long time, right? Because I understudied some organizations, some platforms that had been doing this for a while. And before I said, let's do this, it was something that I was very, very intentional about. And I think one of the things that helped me, is the fact that we have some of the most amazing team members, shout out, volunteers, and some of the most amazing people in the world that are interested in what we're doing, and they put in their energy, their resources, all they have to just make this work. So it's not a matter of Joseph is consistent. It's the fact that even sometimes when I want to give up, there's some days you just say, why am I doing this? This is like...
And I'm really going to get into the part of like wanting to give up.
Like, why am I doing this? Should I really care for the fact that we do this for free?
Yes.
When we started, the first edition was free, second edition was free. Like, the question of why are you exactly doing this? Then I used to fly from Abuja to Calabar to go and host this event. And, getting sponsors was difficult. So consistency was not even part of my plan. But the fact that you see the pain in the eyes of young people, you see how much they're struggling, you see how much people need help, people were stuck, they needed job opportunities, but they couldn't find. So when you see the need to help people, you just have to create ideas around how you can help. And having the people that want to support you, it helps you to stay consistent. So that has just been part of the support we have.
I can resonate with this, and I say this because over time, I've started bringing myself back to the realization, not only the self-knowledge, the realization now that a bunch of things we are doing is geared towards human resource capital development and a bunch of things around bringing people up, which is the biggest investment real. I think if, now I don't want to put our governments on the spotlights, but I think if major institutions and even schools, right, would prioritize the wave of time, how things are going, the right information, learning the right thing that you need to learn, it might probably would help cut down the rate of people who I don't want to call it the wrong thing, but it looks like the wrong thing. Because why would you be studying something you are very sure you don't need for 8 consecutive years?
I don't think it's a problem of, there's a role that the institutions have to play, but again, these issues have been there for a couple of years, 100 years, 300.
But at the time, it was not like this.
Yeah, but right now, I think young people, we need to really focus on what we can do for ourselves.
Yeah.
Not what school can do for us, not what government can do for us. And that's one of the things we do at YPC. How can we as individuals, as young people, how can we really build a solution for ourselves?
Yes.
The world is changing. Technology is there. So the question should always be, these available resources, how exactly can I plug in and use this to change my life? Because maybe these guys, they don't care, right? But how exactly can I build myself? And the most amazing thing is that when we're able to build ourselves, some of the bodies we think
are not
interested, they come to partner. So at the end of the day, the same bodies we think are issues, they also pass through the system, but they survived it. People call it school is scam. I don't try to see school as scam. I try to see it as environment for incubation. Yeah, so there are so many things to learn. Even though the curriculum is okay, there are so many things to learn.
Yeah.
And the fact that there are so many people you can meet, a lot of founders, a lot of startups that came out from university, is that there are friends you met. It's a circle. So it doesn't matter the modules they use in school now, the people you can meet can be the bedrock of whatever you do in life. So I think that while school and all the issues are happening, we should just always try to see, okay, how exactly can I focus? What can I build for myself? Because at the end of the day, nobody's coming to save you. It's not the government. The government is looking for help. The schools are looking for help. Nobody's coming to help you. So the question is now, young people, what is the solution? Skill. So
right.
The question now is, what skill should I learn? And how can I move from here? Because we're not even getting younger. I think one of the reasons why I'm even consistent, I'm doing what I'm doing, is because I discovered early at the age of 24 in school that I'm not young.
Yeah.
I've never seen myself as a young person.
Yeah.
I'm not young. I have a very short window to be relevant.
Yes, that's
a
right.
very, very short window. And young people, if we're not able to understand the timing that we have, the short time that we have to build, to do whatever we have to do, we just woke up one day, I discovered that we're now 30, you're 40, or 50, we're 50. And the same things we're blaming these other people for.
How does that
we're now guilty. Yeah. Right? So we have to understand that we are not just young. The energy we have now, the attention we have now, what we have now is just for us to be able to build and to push as fast as we can.
That brings me back to I will still circle back on the terms of like what skills you use and all of that. I know there are communications, but I want to dive back on the place of mindset, right? The place of mindset. You mentioned something around the role that mindset plays in all of this, right? You had the right mind. That's why you were able to like want to provide solution for other people. So what are your thoughts around what would you say the role of mindset is in all of this whole solution provision?
Mindset. I think for me, my colleagues, if they ever get to see this video, my t-shirts, so long sleeve, behind now, it was written there, Joe never gives up. So for me, I think I learned early not to give up.
Yeah.
Because going through school, I'm not the kind of person that had all the A's. I saw F's. My year one alone, I got like 4 F's.
That's a lot of
for the first time in my life. Primary school, secondary school was the best of the best. If I tear is second position. Here am I in university. First year. Sorry, I'm laughing. Not a lot of sincerity. First year, I didn't believe it too. 4 F's, not 3, not 2, 4. People, when people have 1 F and they're crying, they're going to remark my script. I had 4 F's. I was broken. I was torn. I was year 1, 5-year course. You can't. When you have 1 F, you cry. 4. And that affected me because there's some courses you have to drop in year 2 because 4 Fs credit load. Like some of the 3 credit, 4 credits, I was devastated. I was torn. I was the Joseph that was ready to show this school was showing shiggy. I thought for me that was the end of. But I don't know. I don't know how I had to put myself together. That's why I had that quote. Joe never gives up. Yeah. So I had to just pick myself up again. Started reading. Not that after reading, I saw F's in my life. My department, they know themselves. I can't mention them here, but I saw F's to the point that in my school till now, I was never friends with any lecturer. Wow. Because I thought, there are a lot of mistakes I made in school because, we don't have time to share it, but I think the environment I found myself at that age and the kind of result I saw gave me the impression that I could be a failure. But I didn't give up. So I had to just tell myself, you can do this. You can finish this. A lot of people dropped out from school, but I finished. I graduated properly. I knew that, okay, with this kind of certificates, there's something that you need to fix, So I had to build myself. What was my own escape velocity? What were the advantages that I needed? And I had to just quickly pick myself up and learn. So from year 2, I was everywhere looking for what exactly to learn. Wow. My school, we had this ICT department where we had free Wi-Fi. And thank God for my dad. Shout out to him. He got me a laptop very early. So nice. I used to go there. I would download movies. God have mercy. I'll download movies.
There's a lot of sincerity coming out.
I'll download movies. You know how you go to class, no lecturer comes in, 8 o'clock, you go to the department there, I download movies. Some movies that till today I've not seen it. Download. But somehow, some friends.
I think it's part of the process.
Yeah, some friends I came to meet, discovered that there were skills you could learn on the internet, on YouTube, and other platforms. There were things I could do. And the interest to download movies started changing. It was now to download videos from YouTube tutorials. So since I learned graphics while before school, and I had to start learning, getting videos that could help me build my graphic skill.
Yeah.
So instead of looking for movies, I was now looking for tutorials that could help me. So I think the free Wi-Fi we had, not free because it was part of I think a lot of you don't know in school, it's a part of your tuition. People don't know. They think it's free. It's not free. You have paid for it, but people don't know how to use it. So I think I started learning early how to use those things we called free to download to build myself. And I just think that the kind of mindset I had then and I still have now is the mindset of never giving up. So that has really helped me. So for young people, I think one of the mindset we need to have is the mindset of never giving up. It doesn't matter how many times you fail. It doesn't matter what you struggle at. It doesn't matter you are just from school. You had the first class, but this part is not working. One of the things we must learn now is how to transition. Yeah. How to reinvent ourselves. This thing is not working. What exactly can I do? What is the next thing I can learn? Because it doesn't matter what you studied. It doesn't matter how much you failed. The question should always be, what can I do next? My message is always, what is the next thing to do? You fail here, good. Sorry. What's the next thing to do? So my message is always not giving up. So, all right.
Yeah. I think there is an experience that backs a lot of mindset thing up, right? Yeah. That's how I put it. There are a bunch of experiences. Yeah. When you talk about reinventing yourself, transitioning, I'm the typical story of that. Today I'm podcasting, tomorrow, bro, you might see me as a politician. It's part of the process.
Yes. And sorry to cut you. I think another thing that maybe I didn't pay attention to that I'm just figuring out now is the fact that where I'm coming from. You know how where you came from, your church, your family, they are like the Joseph that they know.
Yeah.
So maybe that also fueled my ambition.
Yeah.
You can't go back home as a failure.
No way.
Go to laugh at you.
It's not
so maybe never giving up for me was more like I have a very strict dad.
Wow.
He wanted you to study medicine, you not study medicine. Whatever you're studying now, you can never fail at it. So you can never fail at what you're doing. And you have a lot of people that are looking up to you, people that think that you're a big deal.
Yeah.
So you can't go back as a failure. So I think that also contributed to the kind of mindset that I had without even me knowing. So
yeah, now that you mentioned this, I would like to circle back in terms of like growing up as a kid. Being the smart, intelligent boy that never took third position.
The class monitor. Class monitor is like class captain.
Exactly. That's what they call.
From what I can remember, I was class monitor till I left primary school.
I did it to XS3. As funny as it sounds. I think the drawback was sometime around the junior secondary and the senior secondary because at the time, there were a lot of financial constraints. We had to go into the markets to, hustle our mouth, right? That's how it is, do a lot of barrel pushing, a bunch of stuff, right? I can't even mention them on this spot. I just keep telling myself that one day we're going to share our story with the whole world and they are going to see how much progress we've made. So that's where the transformation has happened so far. So coming from that family of me, my parents are intellects, like, they're well studied, schooled people. Not so big on the skill, really. It's about education and going to the university, getting the certificate. But growing up, I now started, looking back at what has changed. So that's what led to the transition. And what has changed with the people who has done this thing and the people who have not done it, what have attained a certain height of success, like me, we could say, in terms of finances, education, and know-how, people who are really building sustainable solutions. So it led me to that quest of looking for the next thing, the next thing. I mean, I've always been this big boy of challenge, right? I said this challenge of 100 days, going from crypto curious to crypto native, learning everything about Web3, blockchain technology. This was at the later times. Now, when I figured I wanted to do something around physical health and fitness, I launched a new program, a new challenge, 100 days, going to the gym back to back. I think that's that whole experience of growing up, like you mentioned, right? I'm just resonating with the things you mentioned. The environment would not let you think so less of giving up.
Yeah.
It's not part of the equation when we were growing up. No.
When you give up, you are disowned. That will mean you are gone.
Wow.
They are not part.
I think that's true.
First son,
Wow.
you're not part of that family again. You know.
Wow. And you'll be very sure.
You know. So failing is you remove yourself from the lineage. Right. So there was no way you could fail.
So you go start your own.
Yeah.
You go start your own.
So it was obvious that we had that family, you are out. So my family, you can't fail. You shouldn't fail. So maybe that also,
What role did mentorship play in your life in all of the whole transitioning and then solving problems?
Well, I think for me, I'm one of the most privileged people that I would say, shout out to everybody that has contributed to my life. I think for me, I'm more like a product of mentorship. So I've had a lot of people that have invested so much in me. So even what I'm doing now, trying to give it back,
Yeah.
I've had a lot of people that invested in me. So I think I had access to quality mentors early. So from when I was maybe 23 in school, I had a lot of people that, because of how skilled I was,
Yeah.
when you're good, a lot of people that, so maybe God sent them early for me. So I had this mentor that maybe found me. I didn't find him. He found me and he introduced himself to me. Shout out to Shegun.
Yeah.
Shen. He found me in school.
Quick shouts out.
And I think there's a time, I've shared this story a couple of times. There was this preacher. I went to a fellowship. Then my sister, when I was in university, what she used to do to me was, if you have to eat her food, she would say, come to fellowship first. After fellowship, you follow her, she'll give you food.
Wow.
They don't want to. So that day, I said, okay, let me come. Wow. I was now the scapegoat. This preacher that was invited, I pray he doesn't see this video. I'm not sure he was the one. Started preaching. I asked me, what do you want to be in future? I told him, he used me as topical.
Wow.
Preach. I told him, hi, that day, did I cry? I can't remember. But I told myself that was the last time in my life I'll ever go to that fellowship. I never mentioned the name. So that happened. But interestingly, people will come to me to apologize. Sorry, this is not how in my mind. I came for food. But I said that I not sit down where everybody was seated. I sat down behind so that you can know that I'm not part of you people. But you had to come to the back, to come back, baby, to come and pick me. I was not a scapegoat too.
Do you think it's a divine thing?
I don't know. I think so. Because if he didn't use me as a case study to embarrass me, maybe that person wouldn't have seen me. So maybe I think it's a divine thing, but then I didn't say it like that. And if I was a bad guy, I'll plan it. But so it's a beautiful experience because after then, Shegun just came to me. He introduced himself. Hello, Joseph. I heard you do this. And he showed me some of his work. And he was asking questions like, how can we work together? We had to exchange contact. We started talking. And that was like the beginning of everything I'm doing today. So he started guiding me. I started asking him questions. And for the level he was and the level I was, the gap was just too broad. I was so lucky because he was this kind of person that doesn't care about his age. So you can talk to him about anything. We talked about everything, like literally everything in life. We go to eat together. We're like the best of the best. Yeah. So I think mentorship had a very big role in my life early. Then growing up, I've had a lot of people that have mentored me. I think every phase of my life, there's always a mentor. Every phase of my life is always a mentor. Every phase of my life is always a mentor. Every transition phase for me, there's always a mentor. I had a lot of people that maybe because of the kind of stuff that I was doing. So there are basically some skills that we need as young people to be able to attract and keep mentors.
Yeah.
There are people that will just, you have the mentor, they're using me, they're using me. You want to run. So for me, I didn't feel that they were using me.
Yeah.
I saw how they invested in me in terms of money, their knowledge. I could see myself becoming who they were.
Right.
And for the fact that I had a journey, there was a destination for me, I was able to also pick who could mentor me.
Right.
It's not just your interest in me.
Yes.
Now, it was that where you are in life, maybe that's where I want to get to and beyond.
Yeah.
So I'm always open to learning from people that can change my life. So a lot of people, shout out to Shegun. I found a mentor early, and the different phases of my life, has provided me opportunities to meet good and quality people, high profile people that are right now invested in what I do, and I'm also learning from. So mentorship is a tool that nobody should escape.
When you talk about mentorship, it cuts across different areas as well.
Yeah.
Which we might not be able to dig deeper into right now. But a quick deep dive would be how you not only get inspired by people who are looking to do what you're doing. So I can list out a couple people like called mentors, or they never really know that they've actually mentored me. But the whole thing there is that just keep doing that one thing you are doing. There are people who are following your steps without even liking your videos, right? They're learning from you. So one of them would be Vusi. Vusi never knows that he's actually a big mentor to me, but I've been following Vusi for a couple years now, and there's so much that have been opened up to. And that not only because Vusi has a very special relationship with God, which I appreciate, and his career, the eloquence, the use of words, and how he's very good with what he does, right? It makes me want to become the very, very better version of myself. So I think I'm saying this to say that mentorship sometimes are not very physical. They're not proximity bound, but you notice that this person is there was a point in my life where I was following Tony Elumelu, right? I'm still following him till now, learning how he was able to build all through the youthful age. It's more like an understudy of the journey that they have been on. Because why? I have a vision, right? I have a dream. I have somewhere I'm going. And I see that these people are a little bit closer to my location, right? So they've walked the path, and I just have to follow that same road, dodge the potholes and the stops, the checkpoints, everything. It's just like a normal road. So I just wanted to highlight this because some people I may not have had the very big privilege to have mentors that are very close to me, but I have in different industries, right? When it comes to cinematography, filmmaking, content, I've had mentors who I learned certain things from. And mentors come at different stages of a journey, like you mentioned. So if you're listening to this, and you know that, okay, you are following someone closely to the point of you've learned so much from them. Recently, I've migrated to following a bunch of other people like Ali Abdal.
I think social media has made it very
Easy for mentorship.
Like, imagine that this person you want to connect with, all you need to do is just send a DM.
It was not like before.
So the fact that the world has brought everybody close with just a DM, you can connect, you can learn, is just simply amazing. But again, I think we should always still, thrive to build a relationship.
Yes.
So I think one of the things that people don't do a lot is, building quality relationship with people that they want to learn from. So there are people that we admire. For instance, on some platforms, you're not following these persons. I just believe that there are people that if we can at least follow, we see what we're doing, the fastest way to learn to becoming is to watch.
Yes.
Yeah, but then what if what they are doing, you don't really know exactly what they're doing? There are questions you have, you can't really ask them personally. So I think sometimes that close mentorship, even though it's peer-to-peer mentorship, there are a lot of friends that should be mentors.
Yes.
That we shouldn't just be familiar with that.
Yes.
There are most of my friends that the quality of conversations we have is such that can help to rethink, to plan, to strategize and stuff like that. So I think that mentorship, peer-to-peer mentorship is amazing, is brilliant, and we should always just enjoy that process too.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I think that we just have to strike a balance in between. But I wanted now let's dive back to the place of skill. I don't want to like steer the wheel to another place. So, you know, what are those skills that you prioritize at the early stage? Like I would always call skill an entry point to anything. I mean, Shegun would not have seen you. Shegun, that's the name you call it. Shakes. Yeah. Shout out to you, Shegun. He would not have seen you if you never had an entry point. So it's because you had value, right? And you still do. That's why he's able to connect with you easily. And he needed the services. He needed that kind of value. He needed someone he could reach out to, to get things done super fast and simple for them. So what are those skills that you prioritize at the early stage of your development?
So I think one of the skills I maybe had early was people don't pay attention to this humility. Humility is a skill that young people are not familiar with.
At all.
Pride has destroyed love, skilled, and it's something one of my mentors too, Julius Afalabi, shout out to him, always said, incompetence will embarrass you in front of a big opportunity.
Right.
Now, the reason is because a lot of people that are very skilled don't believe that they can submit to anybody. So I think one of the things that helped me early was humility.
Right.
So the fact that Shegun walked up to me and I was open to learning from him. I was able to tell myself, okay, where he is and where I am,
there's a distance.
There's a gap, right? So I had to just humble myself and learn from him. And again, there are a lot of people that I've learned from that humility has played a big role. Early in my career, and when I started school, there was a friend of mine, Radiant Ekemini. He was doing a lot of youth-inspired projects and stuff like that. And for the fact that we were friends, I was volunteering for him in media. Not because he was my friend, but because I saw a need to help. I saw a need to serve. So I think one of the things, aside humility, that young people need to learn is service.
Yes.
Service is a skill. So you want to become. The question is, why have you served? Until you're able to serve, you can't become who you... Because
it's true.
See, the secret to success is service.
Service.
Check anybody that has become anything in life. There's somebody they served.
Yes.
Moses in the Bible, there was Joshua.
Yes.
So every big person, every big name, there was somebody that they served, right? So humility, being humble to your process, to your journey, and knowing the things that you need to learn from this person and be humble enough to be able to learn.
Yeah.
Then again, being able to serve. Being able to know. And service is very hard.
It is.
Because people think mentorship is just easy. Just come and they mentor you. Mentorship is one of the most frustrating.
It is.
Service. Impossible.
It is.
There's some people that you cannot learn from.
Yeah, I agree.
There's some people that you struggle to learn. But if you know what you want to gain from this relationship,
you'll be there.
You have to be humble. Because you want to learn from me, for instance, you're sending me messages, you're trying to call me, and I'm unreachable for just 2 days. It's proud. You don't care about how busy I am.
It's the common thing.
You don't care if I know you, right? So it's proud. That one, it's proud. Yeah. So that being humble to say, okay, I have to wait. We need to learn how to be patient. It's a skill. We need to learn how to wait, right? And we need to learn how to serve. So when you're coming to somebody to learn, the question is, what are you bringing to the table? There's a framework, YPCAfrica. Yeah. What is in it for me? Everybody you want to learn from, there's always a question when you come to them. What is in it for them? Because you coming, you're a selfish person, obviously. So you know why you're coming. You want to learn. Good. What will the person gain from you? So most times, people are not concerned about what they're bringing to the table. They're careful, concerned, and interested about what they will gain. So at the end of the day, you think that they're using you. But you forget that since you came, for the past 1 month that you've been talking to this person, you've been using his brain.
Yes.
So what are you bringing to the table? What exactly should this person expect from you? So I think that by the time we change the narrative, change perspective, and, turn things around, there are a lot of things that we can, have access to that will change our life. So whenever we come to people, question should be, what is in it for them versus what is in it for me? I know what I want. I want to gain knowledge. I want to learn from you. You're a public figure. You're up there. You have made it in life. And you maybe want them to just, maybe one day when they're writing a post, just mention your name. But the question is, what is in it for them? What do they need? Everybody has something they need. So while you're trying to connect with Joseph, with this person, what do you think Joseph is looking for? Every big person is looking for something. They're looking for something.
Yes.
And I'm also looking for something, right?
Right.
So what are these guys looking for? The person you want to connect to, what do you think is their pain point? What do you think is their own problem? What exactly can you help? So I have this friend, Jupiter. Shout out to him. I think I've mentioned a lot of names during this. But
Yeah, it's all good. So people know who they can always follow.
one of the things this guy used to do then that I was so inspired by was every birthday. Then I used to design. He come to me, Joe, I beg, how much? He is willing to pay.
Hmm.
And I'll bill him, so he'll leave me. He will still want to pay. There's this person he wants to do a flyer for. Happy birthday. This person made a post, want to do a carousel design. So he was always trying to give to these people. So we were thinking that it was a waste of time, but he was investing in that relationship.
Yes.
So that by the time you check, what have I gained from this person? All my videos, all my flyers, this who does it. Because these guys are so busy that there's some things that they don't have time to do. So imagine that we're on this spot, for instance.
Yes.
Somebody sees this and decides to maybe make some short videos out of it and send it to me. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Or after all, somebody's watching, I'm having a webinar, somebody will send me a transcription.
A transcription from
What we did. And I'm like, I didn't ask you to do this.
yeah,
If I have to pay, I know how much I'll pay. But the person did it for free.
even a record.
So some of those little things that people do, you can never forget them. You go for an event, somebody's bringing the gifts. So there are little things that when we pay attention to, the people we want to have access to, they are the ones that are now interested in us. Because a little act of kindness, you've invested something, right? So I think that being humble, being patient, and the skill of service can change anybody's life around. Because nobody's willing to mentorship is stress. Telling somebody to mentor is telling somebody to stress yourself, please. Like you've been so busy, just add this stress. Like, do you know what it means to train a human being? So, do you know you're trying to say that okay, I've been able to amass this level of wealth for myself. I've been able to become this successful, and this took me like 5 years, 10 years, and you want them to pour this effort into you. You have to be humble.
Yes.
It took them a lot. So if you want them to train you, like, and it's funny because you're not the only person. Somebody has 10,000 followers, or human beings connected to them, 1,000,000,
Yes.
and you want them to mentor you. Sometimes we are just, I don't know. We should be humans. We should be humans because hello star. Da, 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 da. This is the 16,000th message of the same request. And you want this one person to attend to all these people. And it's funny because mentorship now is easy.
Yeah.
There's a mentorship program.
Yeah.
How much?
Everybody going
You sit down and you refuse to
do it. Hey, you want a one-on-one?
one-on-one. And there's a price that I pay now, but is it I just be following for free? Yeah. So I think that if we're able to understand that these people have paid so much to build and invest in themselves, and it will cost you something. Everything we want in life, but there's a price.
There's a price, yes.
But there's nothing for free. There's a price too. So the question should be always, how can I figure out this price? Just send somebody a message and say, sir, I want to mentor by you. What do I need to do? If you follow this person for a while, figure it out. There should be somebody that knows the person that you should ask the question. It's not the person you ask, what do you want the person to say? So I think that there's just so much we as young people can really do to build, to improve ourselves, and mentorship is just always a very good to climb very far. I think that what Robert Greene said in his book, Mastery, he said that I think there's so many ways to learn, but the fastest way to the top is mentorship. Because mentorship is, I've learned this in 10 years, and I can just show you the secret in an hour.